the agenda for today is just to, from last week, we have one idea here. So, I just do some hacking, basically anything in my email that's open source or whatever. Something we came up from last week was to just go through one nice contract out there called Area. These are a lot of contracts that I wrote, and just see if I can get them into a new repo. I'm thinking long-term, just to have a nice repo where we could follow all the best practices and document them for making smart contracts getting started. So I thought we would start with Area and maybe de-vendor it or just make it more general to start any project rather than just the Area project. Otherwise, interrupt anytime and we can do audience questions. Anything on topic is NFT or Web3. So you can chat. Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead here and eat this dinner and go through some smart contracts, some best practices, and then just interrupt whatever you got. I guess I should also read this chat here for people that don't like talking. What's up, Duino? All right, cool. And let's just check the Twitter real fast. Cool. Met you at the Gutter Cat Gang. Cool. Don't be shy. Tell me what's up. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep trucking through with the Area NFT contract. Get this to build and work on it. So here, this is a nice contract. So Area, I'll tell you a little bit about Area briefly. So Area is, maybe we can get them on OpenSea. Hey, Sue, baby. So let's see if collections. There's a nice graphic here. Okay, so basically here's the Earth, and then they split it up in by latitude and longitude, and they're for sale as NFTs. There's a few projects that have worked like this, but what they did was not really random or fair, and so people just bought the best cities, and then the project just has zero traction. This one's cool because it's the entire Earth is dropping. So it's 1 degree of latitude, 1 degree of longitude. And then you get the whole thing is up for grabs. And so the smart contract includes the randomization, which is a nice fair technique that we can look at. And it's got the vending. And then there's a marketplace too, which is not really interested in that right now. So that's Area. Any questions about Area? Cool. So we've got some smart contracts for Area. I'll paste those here. So here's the Area smart contracts. And I wrote all these. And there's bug bounty. So if there's anything wrong, I will pay you. So this is a lot of good stuff, and it takes a lot to start a smart contract. And if you've been to one of my workshops, it's like one line of code, you paste it, and you feel good, and you get your number on the screen, and that's cool. That gets it done. A lot of people launch that way, but really, what you should do is you should document your processes. You should have a bug bounty. Here's some best practices that you follow, and you should document your best practices. And you have a lot of extra files. What is all these crap? What is all this stuff? Right. So there's a lot of different steps setting this up. You can look at Open Zeppelin contracts as a decent project that's pretty well maintained. May or may not match what you're doing. I thought I'd make a competition to Open Zeppelin contracts. So I was thinking to start with here and see if I can follow my own best practices and document them. So that's what I'm working on. Here we've got, so briefly getting to the contracts here for Area. So we have the main contract is Area. That contains a bunch of stuff, and then the marketplace. The marketplace is a different thing that we're not going to talk about. So Area, everything's split out, so it's really easy to reuse because some of this stuff's new, and new means dangerous, right? So I want everything to be small and easy to read, and so I could explain it, and then you could understand it, and you could audit it. One of them is related to plus codes, which is this Latitudes and longitudes are stored as plus codes. This is a standard made by Google. That's a library. We've got this lazy array concept, which is where it's real easy to, on NFTs, there's this nice, specifically with ERC 721, you can mint a lot of things at once. There's a cool way to do that. So this is a way to track that. This is kind of like an array, but you can populate a lot of things at once. This is usually difficult in a smart contract since you can't use loops, but I wanted to get this into a little library here. Another one's a commit queue. So this is a commit reveal mechanism. There's several ways to get randomness on blockchain. One of them is to use the commit hash. So as you're creating a transaction, you get a random hash at that time. But because of the way that blocks are made on blockchain, you might be able to control that hash. So if you're minting something and you're getting it right away, that's really not the best. That's really not good because you could manipulate that. You can manipulate anything related to randomness, but it's very easy to manipulate it that way. This uses a commit reveal mechanism. That's where you commit to buy something, and then later you figure out which one you got. So it's 2 steps, and that is more secure. So this just extracts that little feature there. So there's that. And withdrawable. I like to see this used everywhere. This is where you have a contract that owes you money, and you want to get the money. So, or ether, not money. So a lot of times there'll be a contract where you send tokens and somebody else gets them and then they have to withdraw them. That's really the best way to do it. The wrong way to do it is you send tokens and then the tokens, the ether, is sent directly to another person. That's the wrong way to do it because you could be sending to a smart contract, and when you send ether, that starts a whole new program that could just do unexpected things. So really the best practice, which is recommended by Solidity, which is the language we use, best practice is to use the withdrawal pattern, and that's where you have a withdrawal function, and that's the only way to get stuff, ether, out of the contract. So this has this one line here, just transfer to the sender. And that's the only place. So this transfer function, this is dangerous. This should be red. It should be like a separate color. It should be blinking because this can do stuff. These functions can do dangerous things. So this is not afraid of reentrancy, this withdrawal, and you should not be, this is external. So you're not even going to call it from another function inside your smart contract. So that's what this is. Now this withdrawable utility just extracts the feature of sending ether. And so it allows you to query how much you can get, and then you can queue up ether to send to somebody. So any questions about area? I guess I should say what's up on the area Discord. Cool. All right, let's keep going. So right now I'm just following the steps from the documentation to run, make sure, the first step to changing something is to make sure it works as is. So let's just see if it works. This will take a minute. This is how many tests are in the contract. So each one of these check marks is a test case that's running against the area NFTs. They're written in JavaScript. They call the smart contract in various different ways. They set it up. They call like one function. They call another function. Just make sure everything is expected. Then there's a couple of test cases that didn't really work so well in JavaScript. So there might be like a not an X, but like a question mark or something. And those things need to be tested manually. So those are tested by, some of them are weird situations where like two things happen at the same time. These are these ones on queue. So two commits happen in the same block. And Hard Hat is not really good at that right now. So we tested these manually with a test case, that we executed offline or not automatically. And then everything else is run by Hard Hat. So this is really nice. Hard Hat is great because it shows you all the different methods that it tested, shows you how much gas it used. That's always a big question, and how much gas we're using. And everything passed, and some of them are pending, which means that they're tested offline. Okay, there's another test here. Okay, and there's a coverage test. Coverage is the least important thing, but you should strive to have full coverage. So there's a few that are not covered or have some notes here. And then we will be good to modify this stuff. So can you like keep this warm or put a lid on it or something? All right. So coverage testing. This is where every single line of code is covered or not by a test case. So this is really, there's more code spent testing than there is spent coding. All right. So really what I just wanted to do today on my agenda was to just remove some of this area stuff from this contract, kind of get some real basic functionality here, and then tell everybody you should use this as your starting point for smart contracts. So I'll be working on that unless I get some questions here in Discord, and it's pretty quiet. Cool. Yo, what's up? Silicon. Uptime is 24 minutes. Silicon, you gonna join the voice chat? You know the link. So I have a new iPad on the way. So iPad's gonna be my second screen here, and then you can chat and I can see you without alt tabbing the whole time. All right. So let's keep this moving. So this is going to be, when I do a template, I want to have, I've done some templates before. So here's a nice template for Swift. So I'll show you what a great template looks like. So today we're going to be, that's cool. We're looking at this smart contract, this really good one for area, and then we're going to kind of delete some stuff from it and make it as like a starting point for all smart contracts. Just like that, boom. Here's one that I've done the same exact concept before. This one's for Swift. This is for people that want to, it's real specific. It's people that want to make a Swift module to publish for other people to include in their iOS apps. There's a lot of people that want to do that. And so I made this as a template for those people. And so the way this works is, there's an actual template. And it's got some, basically it's like I'm helping you sell your product. So I need to have like a demo cool name for this. So usually it's like, my pony token or something like that. But I'm not feeling creative at the minute. So we're just going to call this smart contract starting point. So a really important thing when you're publishing open source is you really want to tell people like, what is their expectation? You know, are you just like singing in the shower? Are you just like publishing something for yourself? Do you want people to help you? You know, like what's going on here? Um, Even if you're just putting up like that's the most important thing because people, you know, people will see this stuff 10 years later. You can find something I published 10 years ago and I'm still just as excited to continue working on it with you. So I'll tell you that like this is actively, you know, being maintained, even if you haven't seen me in a while. And so I run quite a few open source projects. So I just want to say that like, and for smart contract, that means money. So I'm gonna be committing money here. So smart contract starting point. We need a cool name for this project. I had a cool name for this before. Did I write it down? We need a cool name for this. Put a cool name here. Okay. So as we're starting this, the easiest way to say something is actively maintained is to put money behind it. And so we're gonna say like project. Oh yeah, this is probably the #1 interview question I get. So let's just look at the interviews. I'll just click on the last 3. Carbon. Everybody's talking about this constantly. Yeah, let's do it like this. So here's a bunch of interviews on this topic. I mean, I'll link you directly into the interview stuff. Yeah, it's terrible. So blockchain should be like illegal, most of them. Bitcoin should be illegal. Ethereum should be illegal as is, version 1. Um, you know, it's if there's not enough water because there's a drought, you can't water your car. Like everyone's like, oh, not enough water, don't water your car. That's a normal rule. In terms of electricity, we're like, oh, we're too much carbon, and yet we spend all this carbon on Bitcoin. Should totally be illegal. So we need to stop using computers to solve Sudoku puzzles so you can mine Bitcoin and switch to something else. So governments just don't understand Sudoku. That's the analogy we always use. And so they've failed to make rules around this. And, you know, that's why I get in front of governments and I explain this stuff. So, but yeah, we should totally outlaw Bitcoin mining, as China has done and some other countries. Oh, yeah, it's going to be illegal. I mean, it's already illegal in several countries. Go away is a weird word. It'll become illegal and public companies will stop doing it. And people will do it, but it should be illegal. The solution is proof of stake. And a lot of people have it, just Bitcoin doesn't, and Ethereum doesn't. Ethereum's working on it. Yeah, I mean, it uses like 0.5% of the world's energy just for Bitcoin. It's ridiculous. Might even be like 1% by now. Of all the electricity on Earth is used for Bitcoin. And yeah, they banned it because they use coal for their electricity and it's literally killing people. So they're like, we could just turn that off. So when you mine Bitcoin, basically it is a Sudoku puzzle or a huge Sudoku puzzle that your computer is solving. More computers you plug in, the more puzzles you can solve per minute or something like that. That's called the hash rate. That's hashing. This uses electricity, and because we all have access to the same computers, that means that really it doesn't matter. It's not like your computer's better than mine. We all have the same computer. The only difference is how much your electricity is putting into it. You spend more electricity, you get more lottery tickets. I spend more electricity, I get more lottery tickets. So wherever electricity is cheapest, that's where they mine Bitcoin. When I say Bitcoin, I mean Bitcoin, Ethereum, other ones like that. So it's terrible for the environment. It just uses ridiculous amount of electricity. And then that electricity the worst of all is that it's in Russia and China where they use coal. So Bitcoin is basically built off of coal. Here's the best article you'll ever read on environmental impact. Here's the quote. Let's send you this. If you buy a Tesla Model 3, Tesla Model 3, using a newly mined Bitcoin, so you mine a Bitcoin and use it to buy a Tesla, about the same price, you're going to damage the environment more than if you bought the original Ford Model T in 1908 and drove it for 100 years on gas. Renewable energy and climate change does not. Yep. Yep. Yeah, we need to kill mainnet and we need to use other things. Yep. I mean, it doesn't. First of all, it doesn't matter which one I use. I mean, the networks are all the same. So whether you use the network or not, it should just, once it's illegal, that's when people will stop using it. But yeah, I should. Somebody should call me from AVAX and set it up. Automod held a message. Oh jeez. Yes, everyone complains about the electricity because China is smart and they make smart decisions and they can just ban Bitcoin like that. So I don't want to block you. Whoops. Yeah, China makes smart decisions quickly. So they're like, we're using too much electricity on Bitcoin, and they blocked it. U.S. doesn't make smart decisions quickly. They'll debate about it. They'll pretend that whatever. So, but this is the best one. This is the best article you can read about. You'll burn more electricity. You'll burn more fossil fuels driving a Tesla with a Bitcoin than you will with an original 1908 Ford Model T and driven for 100 years. All the math's here. Also, fun fact, the Ford Model T has the same mileage as like the cars that you can buy today. Like I have a Camry, 2019 Camry has the same mileage as a Ford Model T. Oh yeah, I'm not supporting China, decision making. I'm just saying that this decision is very fast for them because it aligned with some other reasons that they have too. The amount of electricity used by television, video games, other things is way smaller than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is huge. And so one of the problems, here's a straw man, I guess maybe. People say, oh, why don't we use renewable energy to power Bitcoin? That's cool, but that's a fungible asset. So if you're making renewable energy, the fact that you're using it to make Bitcoin has no impact on the fact that Bitcoin is using energy. So they're separate things. One is that we're making renewable energy. The other one is that we're mining Bitcoin. All things electronic that use electricity is consumed at a rate that is. You can talk. Why are you typing? But yeah, so we need to make Bitcoin illegal as currently. Everything uses electricity, but Bitcoin, it's like, oh yeah, just like it is in China and Ethereum. They should both be illegal. Not Ethereum too, because it destroys the environment. Yeah, he had it wrong. It was a great scaffolding. Yeah, a lot of things are terrible, and we'll worry about them if we want to. Well, from China's perspective, this is easy. On the one side, they're using energy. On the other side, they're promoting capital flight. So for them, that's two things on the same side. Nothing about Bitcoin is good for China. So that's why they banned it. Bitcoin is basically anti-government money, and governments are in charge of whether Bitcoin is legal or not. So smart governments will realize that Bitcoin is all black money or black market money, and they're going to make it illegal once they realize what's good for them. Renminbi, yeah. Yuan, yeah. Yep, renminbi. That is him. Sizzle. Nice. We were at NFT NYC. I got no plans. I got nothing. I got no plans. It's January 1st. I got no plans. I got nothing. No, I'm not going to be in New York. No, I was talking about New York before. I was talking about last month. We were talking about, I was going to say about the Teslas they had. No, in New York they had 50 Teslas to just drive you around. Yeah, we need questions, guys. Hi, everyone. So you can put questions here. Sizzle's the moderator. And if you want to talk, you can join in Discord. Somebody has their microphone close to their screen. Here is this. Sizzle, are you on Twitch or just on, are you just on Discord? Yeah. We got a lot of shy people here. This is a party. This is a chat room. This is not a watch will. All right. Sizzle, you are. Cool. All right. So what we're working on now is we got this great smart contract from Area and just making some updates here. And I'm going to republish it as like a starting point for all of your smart contracts. It's going to help. It's going to help you identify the best practices for smart contracts. And I'm totally going to stop what I'm doing when questions come in. Yes, Bitcoin solves a million problems, especially in some countries that don't have functioning currency. And yeah, it's like Turkey, and I'm familiar with South America. Yes, we're in a scaffolding situation where Bitcoin has created the model and people are familiar with the model. Now is the time to step up and fork Bitcoin and hard fork it and create and switch to proof of stake so that it has the same exact benefits without the electricity usage. Other people are working on this right now. Ethereum's working on this. It's very difficult, and that's why good projects have a treasury to fund this type of stuff. Ethereum is going to be tough to motivate people to do that, but we have to do it. Yeah, I want to ban it, the current version. We need a Bitcoin too. And it's going to be banned country by country. Just because something's illegal doesn't mean people are going to stop doing it. If it's illegal in China and Russia, the United States and the EU, doesn't mean it's going to disappear. If we do a good job as a community, we'll fork it, and we'll have Bitcoin 2 that's on proof of stake, and it'll be the same exact thing, and all the value will be there. So you will continue to have all these benefits you're talking about, and it will have basically zero energy usage, which means countries will stop banning it. Chat paused. Oh no. The panels were awesome. Oh yeah, let's check out this NFT transfer tool. Yeah, nobody knows about this. All right, so we have a website which we're going to start using more. NFT.life, and there's a tool here. So I'll just tell you, we just released this. I'll give you a chat drop. So here's this tool. It's called batch transfer. If you got a bunch of NFTs on, it currently works on mainnet and Robston. If you got some contract and you want to move like 100 or whatever NFTs to your other contract, your other wallet, or someone, one of your friends or something, what you do is you just paste in here your contract address. It's not very pretty yet. You put in your recipient, whatever that is, and then you just paste in all of your token IDs like this. You can use Excel or whatever. And then you have to approve it. So you have to give access to the contract, and you can read the contract. We'll audit it right now. And then you transfer. And it's way cheaper. So the contract is one line of code. It's basically just, there's a loop and then it transfers your token. So you don't have to be an expert to audit that. And we have audited it and we have tested it so you can actually see other people are using this. So you can see real money. There's transactions against this. And you can click on one of them and you can see this person transferred a whole bunch of 20 tokens in one go. So they transferred 20 tokens and it had a cost of 200,000 gas, which is really not bad for transferring 20 tokens. There's another one. All right, you guys want to get muted or what? So we got another one here. Here's one. This person sent 290 tokens. So this is cool. They sent like 300 tokens here, and yeah, and it's pretty cheap. So this. I hear both people in my ears. Maybe you don't. So if you're on Twitch, you also want to join the Discord. So let me give you that link again. You want to join the voice channel on this. Otherwise, it sounds like I got two heads in my head. Thank you. Yeah. Spread the love on this. This is a free tool. There's no like fees or whatever, and you can transfer all your NFTs. If you're a whale, you have two wallets, and you want to move stuff into your wallet whale because people are following you as a whale. This is a really cool, way to get exposures for your NFTs. Is there a better way to scroll this? Yeah, so what's up with Web3? Ask questions, don't be shy. We block comments that get flagged automatically for language. On one-on-one, you can talk to me however you want. Renewable energy is going to happen. Bitcoin 2 is going to happen. Banning is going to happen. The whole world's not going to ban it. We're almost caught up here. Oh, Ben Franklin disagrees. An ounce of medicine is an ounce of prevention is a pound of cure. Clean energy, coins. Yeah. Yeah, and there's not going to be any. I mean, this is right too, and there's no solutions on any of this stuff, and there's no like world police that's going to ban Bitcoin. This is all going to be a country by country, thing by thing. Each issue is going to get handled as it gets handled, and really all we can do is, as people that don't run countries, is we can just watch, and we can make our own decisions on, where the as cheerleaders and as patrons, we can decide what we're going to do. Yeah, we're not preventing anything. That's right. It's a better way to batch input token ideas. No and yes. So yes, you can pull up token IDs from OpenSea, but you got to be creative sometimes with this stuff. if you pull up, I don't even know what I'm doing. I've never done this. So I got a person here, and then they own some 1,000 items. You just got to get creative. So maybe if I can find, maybe I want to, maybe I'm this person. Maybe I'm Rand Art Collect 1, and I can hear you, but you're not in the Discord. And you can go to Foundation, so we can see everything that they own on Foundation. And okay, you need to join the Twitch, then you can hear me. I'm not going to continue talking in here. This is too hard. I have to hold this button down when I talk on Discord. So here's all the tokens that this one person owns on Foundation. And so I'm answering the question from Hello Moto. So I'm going to pull up the dev console and see if I can hack my way through this very quickly. So here's a bunch of stuff that they own. Inspect. Maybe I'll click one of them. So this is token ID this. Then I come here, search. And basically I pulled up this page and I did a search for this token ID so I can identify this one. And probably the next one's going to be this one. So what I could do, hello Moto, I hope you're paying attention. So what we're going to do is we're just going to quickly get all of the token IDs that they own. I'm sure there's a fancier way to do this. I do things the anyway, not the fancy way. So I took all this, go to terminal, whoops, PB, paste. Okay, we've got all this crap. And then I'm going to look for anything that looks like this. Copy link. Okay, and then whoops, I can't do that. Okay, let's try this again. Copy this whole thing. Copy HTML. PB paste. Desktop. PB paste into HTML. Okay, cat HTML. Okay, great. And then we're going to go find this token that we know that they own that's listed in the HTML. We're going to copy that. So we're going to cat HTML, grep, egrep. Okay, we're going to get this out. Then we're going to get some digits. And we're going to use O for only matching. Okay, so here are the ones that they own. And I could just go like this, and then bam, I got their token IDs. This is me on a live stream figuring out how to hack OpenSea to get token IDs off their webpage. There's, I'm sure, a much fancier way to do what I just did right there. But this works too. And you can take it and you can go into the token list and just paste it, bam. So now you can transfer all those tokens just like that. Hello, cheers. Hello, I hear you. Cheers. Bruno, if you want to hear me, you have to join the Twitch too. Do you know how to do that? Cool, cool, cool. Sounds good. Welcome Bruno to the party. So there you go. So this is one way that you can get token IDs and you can paste them in here and have fun with batching. Yes, definitely has an API and I didn't have time to. That makes it look easy. Cool. Yeah, no, I mean, I always want to get something done in 10 seconds rather than reading an API in 20 seconds from my live stream. But yeah, OpenSea has an API that you can definitely use that will be way better than what I just did. But yeah, this tool's cool, and we've seen it and saved a lot of people some gas. Expect more tools on there, and we're taking requests. So tools that you want to see, let me know. And if I can give you a one line of code contract, I'll make you something cool here too. Okay, and we got up all the questions. Any other NFT, Web3, Metaverse questions? No? All right, I'll keep moving on smart contracts. So yeah, let's update our dependencies here. This is something else cool. I found out that if you're using npm, you can actually leave comments in your package dependencies, and I like to do this just to leave yourself some notes, because it might not be clear why you have your dependencies in there. And what's this? Yep. And so this is you can use this key because the person who wrote this specification documented somewhere deep inside Google Groups that they will never use this for something else. That should be documented better somewhere else, but that's authoritative. And so now you can include comments in your package.json file, because you can't just put like comments in your JSON. That would be too easy. Can't do that. All right, so I'm just going to look at our dependencies here and see if, so this terminal is dead. We had gone through these contracts, we got them to run. This is cool. And so I'm just gonna go through here and take some features out. So I'm gonna take some stuff out, and maybe we can make, a real simple thing that we can publish right away. So here we have, and these are things I want to maintain. These are like little features. So there's some vendor contracts, which we don't need for now. Marketplace will kill. I always want to publish something fast. So let's see if we can get something live. Area is a very vendored thing, so we don't want that. This is an NFT contract that depends on Open Zeppelin contracts. We don't want that. Random drop vending doesn't depend on anything really yet. Let's look at our utilities. We have a utility for commit queue that is self-sustained, which is nice. Lazy array is self-sustained, permissively licensed. Cool. Plus codes is reusable and permissively licensed. Cool. Withdrawable, likewise. So this is code you can use in your contracts, and they're totally reusable little libraries and stuff. And we can just publish them as their own little thing. We can organize this better a little later, but this is pretty good. So we need to have a newer version of Solidity. You should always use the latest version. Right now we have 11 installed. Cool. 8.11. All right, so we got a few contracts here, and which means we'll need to fix some mocks. So we don't need all these mocks. Mocks are used for testing, and they're just a stub. Maybe there's some private methods that you're unable to access on your contract that you're testing. And so you want to have some stubs here to test things out. Like here, robot buyer. The client here required that they did not want these NFTs to be purchasable by a robot. This is a problem if you followed the Adidas drop. They sold out in 5 seconds, and that's because they got hit by a robot. I can't find a good news story that says that. But basically, somebody used a smart contract to just buy all the Adidas NFTs, and that's cool. But my client was Area in this case, and they did not want that. So during testing, I needed to prove to him that this was not going to happen. And so I had to make a mock as a smart contract robot and then prove that it didn't work. And there's 2 ways that you can create smart contracts. One of them is a contract, and the other one's a spell. Spells are cool things you can do too. I guess we can talk about that later if you're interested to know what is a spell. So spells and contracts are ways that you can do stuff that you can't normally do with your own account on MetaMask. All right, lazy array, plus code, random drop. I'm going to keep that withdrawable mock. All right, so we got some mocks here, and we're going to delete some other code. Let's delete some test code. Area. We're going to remove that. Commit lazy. Okay, so we got less features here. And let's see if we can compile it and publish it. So I'm going to recompile these contracts. Okay, so we have to get the correct solidity in there. Package lock, we want this in here. I would like to see hard hat support always the latest version of Solidity, but they don't. So you have to hard code it into your package lock and then track which ones they support. I'm just guessing the latest one is 8.0.8.11, but even they're complaining that this doesn't work yet, which kind of sucks. Oh, these are the mocks. So the mocks all need to have okay, we're going to update all these. Let's try run it again. Cool. Looks pretty good. Let's run the lint. And let's follow up on Twitch. See what's good. No questions. Wow, it got quiet again. All right, so we're going to run the test. So basically what we did so far today productively here on this smart contract is, oh, this one, where did that go? Marketplace. What we did here is we took an existing smart contract, we sliced out some reusable stuff, and we're going to publish it as something that we can use, as a template. This NFT marketplace, we don't want that test. And let's try this again. Run the tests. Robot. Okay, where's the robot? So the robot was part of our random drop vending. So I deleted that file by accident. Let's get the mock back. And I deleted the Git folder, so we'll need to get it from here. Okay, and that will be under mocks. Robot buyer. Okay, and then the spell. Download these two. And let's get them in the right folder under mocks, contracts, mocks. Okay. And let's update the version because they're going to have their own version of Solidity, which we want to fix to 8.11. 11.8. All right, let's see if we can test it again. Run test. All right, tests are running. That means it compiled at least. There we go. So everything passed and some were pending based on the two people buying at the same time thing. Yeah, and no failed tests, nothing red, except these gas costs. And yeah, this is pretty good. So right now, what we've got now is something we can publish. So let's go through and just go through this stuff, make it a little more friendly, and then publish it, because that's what I'm all about. Book bounty. Okay. License is Apache. Nothing wrong with that. A lot of people use MIT. That's fine too. All right, so let's just go through this README, put a little love in here, and then we can publish this as something useful. Well, I don't get autocorrect in Typora. Cool. Reusable utilities, let's talk about those. Contracts. Okay. Okay, this is okay. There's no marketplace. There's no. Do we need to talk about deployment? Not really. Okay. Node is currently working on M1 Mac, so you don't need to use any hacks. Remove that. We just ran this using Node 17. Okay, cool. I think we're using 17. That takes way too long. Okay, we're using 12. Hopefully it works on later ones. And this, we tested all these, so this is cool. Okay, so this is the last part that I want to get to, and then we'll actually get out and publish this. I think it's very nice in your bottom of your README file to recognize the best practices you're going to follow. I work on a lot of I work on more repositories and I work in more languages than I even know. And I've forgotten more languages than I've remembered. So, I mean, there's 300 of repositories that I'm actively maintaining. Maybe let's reduce that. Sources. Okay, just 100. There's 100 projects that I'm actively maintaining in all kinds of languages. I don't even know Ruby, and I'm a contributor to Ruby. So there's just so many projects, and I'm sure, I'm not the only one. I've got vulnerabilities that we had on our previous live cast against GitHub pages in HTML, and we've got Swift, Ruby, JavaScript, Java, C#. Okay, so when you open a project that you started 10 years ago in Visual Basic and you're like, what was I thinking? This is what you're thinking. You go to the bottom of your README, you pull up your references, and you're like, what inspired me to write this piece of crap that I'm looking at? And you're like, oh, this is where I got these best practices from. Super helpful to your future self. So this is a template, and this is all about finding best practices. So let's put them here. Best practices for Solidity projects. So here's the template. So we started some of this already. This is a rabbit counting token. So I guess we'll merge into this project. We need a much cooler name for that project. Where'd it go? OpenZeppelin Contracts has some great automated testing. They got their ideas from Hardhat, so I guess maybe I should put Hardhat first. Well, even the order of these references matters to me because I got the Hardhat idea from OpenZeppelin. If OpenZeppelin switches to someone else, then I'll probably switch to someone to subordinate the Hardhat to OpenZeppelin. Make sure this link is good. So yeah, they've got some very good automated testing, and we've stolen some of these ideas and definitely improved some of this stuff and given it back to OpenZeppelin. So I've given them quite a few PRs. You're setting up your, oh yeah, this is nice. So there's some nice notes here about how you can set up Atom or VS Code, and you can, it's really nice. I don't know if mine is set up yet to do that. I don't have time to do that right now, but there's a nice test button. Yeah, I don't have it set up. I gotta figure that out. Is it just this easy as clicking here? Is it just this easy? When you get this working, as you're typing, it will rerun the test cases for you in Solidity. It is super cool. And Mocha file, okay. Do we have this? Mocha RC. Yep, okay. Mocha RC JSON. No, we're not using TypeScript, okay. And let's see if that works. Let's try it. We can pull up a test. Not lame. No, I have to study this more, but it's really cool. So you'll get all the boxes here, and it'll just go green, 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 and you can rerun some of them or not all of them. So this is a really cool thing, and so this is something I got to figure out how to make that work, and then share it with you and put it here so that you don't have to think about it. It'll just work next time when you fork this. Solidity Style Guide, so we want to give a shout out to them. We should improve this to a link. Leyva style guy here. So let's, can I get a permalink to latest? Yep. All right, so let's link this, and let's use NatSpec everywhere. All right, here's NatSpec. So I wrote most of this. Spec for solidity. Oops. All right, so you should totally use NatSpec and the solidity style guide whenever you write code. Use the contract name. All right, this is a good practice that we got from Owen Zeppelin. All right, so this is good stuff. So this is about ready to publish. Let's, if we're not creative, we can use this solidity template for now. There's some other contracts here. All right, so we can combine all this stuff together. All right, can I show hidden files? We don't have a button for that, do we? Okay. All right, so let's get all this stuff in here. I saw that. I saw that. That didn't hurt. I saw that. All right, so we don't need to copy these. We can move this over. We can move this stuff over. Put this in there. All right, coverage. Hard hat. Let's use this version. Coverage file, I think that's a build artifact. Hard hat config, let's use that. License. Package JSON. Let's compare those. All right, let's look at the package JSON file here. Look at the one here. Got it. Cool. We can put this right in there. We got this nice README. Let's look at that nice README. Yep, this is good. So we're going to use the new one. Test cases. All right, this is pretty good. So probably I'm going to have to rename some of these folders, so some of those things are going to break there, but we'll worry about that later. Last step is we want to just check the invisible files. So this will be on the top level. Code coverage, same. Editor config, same. ESLint, same. Cool. Mocha was something we're just looking at, which is really nice if that works. Okay. Solidity coverage testing. This, sometimes you have to configure this. This is the same. We'll just keep that. Solidity hint. This is our style guide. Cool. No more dot files. All right, so we're good on dot files here. And so we are good to check in our code from today. And isn't that the whole point? So we don't need to have a cool name. All right. Okay. Okay. All right, so we've got all that figured out. So we've got all the things we wanted to fix real fast. So let's run an npm install. Let's use the right npm version. Let's use npm 12. I didn't need to install that. See if I can just use it. Okay, cool. And now we're going to install the dependencies. You got me. Okay, I'm going to get through this and we'll see if there's any questions left on Twitch, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, utils. Então, 5分钟嘛. Okay. Okay, we're going to fix these references. All right. For some reason, it's working while we're installing. Access, so that will be okay. Let's try it again. It's because we renamed some folders. Compiling, good. Okay. One thing's probably going to fail. We're going to run some tests. It'd be a miracle if that runs. And it passed. All right. So test this thing here. Amazing. That is not an inheritance test. Did I test the right thing? Inheritance. Cool. And coverage test. All right, this is our last test, and we're going to wrap it up. All right, this is going pretty well. Cool, so let's get our commit message and check it in. Always being checking in. Always be checking in. All right, so what are we pulling in? So bring in from area world, area NFTs. So we brought in some new features. That's reusable code. And we got this monster commit. Is this got any problem here? Pretty good. We're bringing this monster commit. And we're going to stage. Slowly template. We're going to commit. And we're going to push it. And it's pushed. So let's give you the URL. And you can download all the things that we talked about today. This is a significant amount of progress in an hour and a half or over time. This is our Solidity template, which you can see here. All right, cool. And then let's get it on NFT Life, right? So let's share it with the world. NFT.life. Let's get it on the website. All right, cool. Let's get it into the building section. This will be all right. So we're going to advertise it on our new website. Stage, commit, live. Cool. And we'll wait a sec for that to show up, and then we'll tweet about it. All right, more questions here. Easy clap. And then we'll summarize. All right, so let's write up. So let's find our, here it is. We're going to summarize. Summarizing our what do we do? We talked about, oh, can we link to Twitch to the video? Does that work? Yo, yo, yo. Oh, that's that. Oh, yeah, that. Okay, can I link to that? That would be nice if I could link to that. And I cannot. No. That would be really cool if I could link to this. And that's too fancy. Okay. Can I cheat? Can I just hack Twitch real fast? Yep. All right. I think we can do it. Share. That's what you're supposed to do. Let's see if we can. Oh, well, that is. Well, I wanted to write this tweet while I'm here. I know, but I don't want to. Well, that's it's interactive. I want you to tell me what to write. You know. But also, in the meantime, we are hacking Twitch to see if we can do this. All right, here's the link. All right, so there's that link. And let's see if we can hack it to do what I want it to do. Sup? All right, so we hacked it to do this. Okay. See, I love how just everything works. Just the website doesn't tell you that it works. So yes, we can. Can you paste a link to a live stream in itself before it's even published? Yes, you can. Done. Here it is. Yes, you can. Here it is. Boom. Pasted. Done. Connecting to chat. See, they blocked me from my own chat, so I couldn't do it. There it goes. All right, cool. This is like on Slashdot, like the holy grail of Slashdot was like make a comment that links to itself. That's the thing. All right, cool. So replay. We talked about Bitcoin and the environment. It's a fair way to summarize what we talked about. What else we talk about? We extracted features from area into a reusable Solidity template. All right. Published to NFT Life. So here's our template. Summarizing our community service. All right, and then here's the last part. Who's here? Drop me your Twitter handle. Drop your Twitter handle. Greets. What's your digital? Come on. Tornado, what's going on here? What's your what's your John? T01. Yeah, there we go. Got it. I just typed, not this. I just did it. I literally just typed it. Keep up. All right. More Twitter accounts. That got autocorrected pretty hard. Yep. Who else? What's up? All right, you got like 10 seconds if you want to be greets. See, you're early. Everyone here, you're early. You know, in the future, we won't be able to fit this all in a tweet. All right, well, 3 of them got it. Anyone else didn't? Cool. And we're tweeting. This is weekly. Well, and we can add a follow-up next week. All right, let's link to Twitch. We have a link for that. Here's our Twitch schedule. Catch us next week, Tuesdays at 6 p.m. New York time. All right, there's our schedule. And then also, I have to do this real fast. On here, I have to make an event. Yep. How there's a button here. I'm going to end the voice chat. No, there's a thing where you can schedule on Discord. How do I do that? I'm going to drop this voice. No, you can create events. Oh, here it is. Yep. All right, cool. Create event. Voice. Next. And it's going to be next Tuesday, the 28th. At 6. All right, and we're about done. So there's that. Zola? And that's the link. That's the event. And tweet it. Cool. All right. I'm signing off. Thanks, everyone. Peace. Catch you next time. Bring in more questions. Only if they join. Only if they did join Discord. They cannot hear you on Twitch. Peace.